Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my first review for the premiere of the Strain Season 2, Episode 1. This one is called BKNY. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen this one, this review will contain spoilers. I'd recommend you watch the Season 2 premiere of The Strain for sure, because this, oh man, and I want to say, first of all, I want to apologize because I know you guys were looking forward to the review, and it's just, I got caught up with so many things, was really busy, and I just didn't get time to actually go ahead and do it. I actually just watched it this week, yesterday. So, and oh man, I really, really, really enjoyed it. Now, for those of you guys who are new to The Strain or you don't know what it is, basically it's and I'll just briefly go over this for those of you guys who do. I did reviews for it, every episode for the first season, or most of them anyway, Season 1. Now it's Season 2. It's... man, it's a pretty amazing series. It's basically what I like to call them are mutant vampires, okay? Mutant vampire apocalypse is what it is. So it's if you took zombies, you took mutants, and you took vampires, and you put them all together, that's the Strain. That's what you get. Now, of course, our main set of characters, our surviving group, is in New York, which is where this is all kind of, this is kind of like the core for where this vampire apocalypse has started and spread from. And it is, it's just a really, really scary and unique show. Now, I will say, if you're looking for something to watch this summer, The Strain is a good call. But I will say, this show is one of the scariest shows I've ever seen. It gives my nightmares. It's like Inception for nightmares. It's just nested nightmares. It's oh my God, the vampires are so grotesque and so scary that it is just, oh my goodness, it's something. And this episode 2, Season 2's premiere, did not let down. We got to see some people getting, just from the beginning, like, some vampire projectile, whatever the hell those spider things are. Oh man, the ending was so scary. So we see, all right, our main character, Ephraim, Dr. Ephraim, played by Corey Stoll, who's actually in Ant-Man, which is pretty cool. And some people have been asking for reviews for that. Sorry, guys, I haven't had a chance to see it. I want to, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet. Maybe I'll get to see it soon. So he is a doctor, and he's kind of, I want to compare him to Rick, sort of, in The Walking Dead, in some ways anyway. He's got a son, and his wife is dead now, and she's a vampire. But it's a lot of fun because now the vampire side is going to be using her to get to him, because they actually see them as a threat now, because of course he is a scientist, and he's come up with the idea in this episode that maybe they can engineer something that could infect the zombie vampires. So maybe they can engineer some kind of, I don't know, virus or something that wouldn't affect humans, but that they could infect one of them with, and then it could bring it back and infect the others with. And yeah, it's kind of like Eugene's idea from The Walking Dead, fight fire with fire, or infect the infected, so to speak. So it is a good idea, and that's something that is brought up in the premiere. We also see Ephraim's son, who I'm not sure if they switched out the actor. I want to say he's basically Carl, to be honest. He's pissed off that F couldn't save his mom, and he's upset that she's now a vampire, and she's still out there. To make matters worse, she has been given by Thomas, who's played by Richard Sammel, who's a fantastic villain, by the way, about the best villain you could ever ask for. She's basically given a group under her of underlings of blind kids. It's not so bad. Blind kids that have been turned into blind, worshipping, like Children of the Corn style mutant vampires. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just I'm just picturing right now what it must sound like to some of you guys who have never seen The Strain and are hearing me explain this. You're probably like, what? But I'm telling you, it's pretty messed up, but it's really scary. And Thomas is probably the best villain, I think, from the show. Even though he's not the uber. We do have the master, who's kind of the uber vampire, so to speak, and everybody is kind of under him. In which we did get to see in this episode that they had actually injured him last season in the finale when they tried to kill him. Even though they failed, his body is basically shutting down. So he's going to have to do some kind of crazy mutant vampire switch or something to, I don't know, transfer himself to another body, get another body, or who knows what. I don't even know. We'll have to see what crazy grotesque stuff they come up with next. But okay, so aside from all the gore and all the craziness, and you've got these ancient, vampires that are almost remind me of Underworld or something, except they don't have wings, but they're like feeding on this guy. They bring this like human out in chains, and they'll feed on him. And, oh my god, it's so dark. So that was, I also say that was cool to see them, but it was just scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you. You see this guy just getting smoked by a few vampires at once and just sucked dry of his blood. It's so gross, so gnarly, man. And the ending was too, of course, when the kids all come up and are worshiping Ephraim's vampire demon wife. Okay, so going forward, I am excited for the season. It's going to be 13 episodes, and it's scary. It's really. Oh man, it's so scary. Like the part in this episode when they're at the storage locker place and they're trying to get some of Abraham's stuff that he uses to. He's basically our veteran vampire hunter, so to speak. He's got some silver stuff, and he's got some weapons and some books with some information and stuff like that. And so all the vampires attack him, and oh my god, it's just so scary. Because now this is one case where I would probably say that if you did this show totally realistically, everybody would be dead. There would be no way anybody could survive this at all. None of these characters would really survive. So from that, I feel like it's a little bit, kind of contrived, just a little bit. But I'm like, that's okay, because we do have to have a good story anyway. And you could foresee some really tough characters if they got good at fighting vampires, even though they have this weird, like, few feet long projectile tongue things that they could potentially, possibly. At least survive for a little while, something like that. Would they be able to, go in and kill them all or something? I wouldn't think so, but who knows? I like the idea of the virus thing. I think that it's not realistic, but it's it's kind of on the brim of what I would say would make sense. But it is a really, really good show, freaky as hell, and I did really like this premiere for season 2. In terms of a score, I'd probably give this one like a 9 out of 10, but I will say that if you're somebody that's a little squeamish, or if you're under the age of probably about 16, it's probably not healthy for you to watch. But I do really I'm really starting to feel attached to the characters. I like Corey Stoll as Ephraim. I like David Bradley, of course. You remember from Game of Thrones, he's Walder Frey, which is pretty funny, but he's good in this, which is fun to see him in a good role where he's not, massacring all of our favorite characters. Mia Maestro as Nora, I really liked her. She's great. Yeah, she's great. She's good. And then Kevin Durand as Vasily Fett. So that's fun to see Kevin Durand because, he may potentially play Negan in The Walking Dead. We'll have to see. But there were some rumors, but apparently they were squashed. But you never know. And then, of course, like I said, Richard Samuel as Thomas is one of the best villains I've ever seen anywhere. You can't really get a whole lot more evil than him. He's a vampire, right? He feeds on human flesh. He looks pretty good while doing it, to be honest. He's got one of these, faces and that kind of thing. One of those male, chins and stuff. No homo, just saying. And he was a Nazi during World War II, so you get this idea. There's not a whole lot of things more, more evil than like World War II, Nazi, zombie or Nazi, vampire that loves to kill people, enjoys torturing people, and just love the whole bit about World War II, and everything that happened there. So anyway, so I think I'll call it there for the review. The show kind of leaves me kind of, a little mind blown. It's so crazy and just oh man, so nuts. And also, I'm still interested to see what's going to happen with Ephraim in this one. We got to see that he's the part of the Strigoi that are the with the ancients that are kind of like their squad, that they can think and they can they're not part of the Masters section. That does interest me to see how they're going to be able to work together, or what's going to happen with them, and maybe these ancient vampire ones don't agree with what the master's doing, and so they may help or they may stop him, and maybe they just kind of want to be left in peace. But we'll have to see what happens if Ephraim will allow that, if they're able to succeed, if he might turn on them. We'll see. So, great premiere, awesome series. Going to enjoy watching it all summer. I may not review every episode this summer because there's just so much stuff going on that it's hard for me to do that. Like there's Dragon Ball and other stuff every week, and it would be hard for me to keep up all summer. But let me know what you guys thought about the premiere. Write your comments below. And if you do want to see me continue with Strain reviews, maybe I'll do it every week. But I can't hold to it. Maybe once in a while I'll do that kind of thing too. There's a lot of series on right now, but it's definitely one of the best, scariest for sure. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think if you got a chance to see it. And if you haven't, let me know if it sounds like something you'd want to see. Write your comments below. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share, please favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you for the next one. As always, it's Trev saying peace.